Welcome to Jefferson Close-Up. I'm Carol Celine. My guest today is Dr. Todd Albert. Nice to see you.
You too.
In preparing for our talk today, I read a quote that you said, "When I come into a room and I see each patient, I try to imagine that they are a member of my family, and that makes it easier to do the right thing all the time." Now, where did that philosophy come from?
Well, when you look at a patient like they're part of your family, it really, you always want the right thing done. And where it came from was my dad was a podiatrist, and I always emulated him when he was younger. He had the most incredible relationship with his patients, and that was the way he took care of people. And so that's my first instinct, was to do that as well.
And is that kind of why you went into orthopedics? Because you wanted to be a doctor like your dad?
Well, that's how I got started wanting to be a caregiver, but my best friend and a football teammate in college, his dad was quite a famous orthopedist. He was chairman of a department up in Rochester, and one weekend he said, why don't you come home and hang out with my dad next week? We were on vacation. I went up, and the rest is history. He was so incredible, all that he did, and it's funny that I've turned out to run a department, be an academic orthopedist, and really modeled my career a bit after his.
Probably back when you were Mr. Jock at Amherst, you never expected things like this to happen to you. You played practically everything. Let me see. Football, rugby, lacrosse, javelin. Am I missing anything?
No. Yeah, I think you've hit most of the high points.
Now, do you consider toughness and adventure your own personal traits?
I like to think so. I like to think of it a mixture of sensitivity and toughness all at once.
And how about adventure? What have you done that's adventurous?
Well, I get a lot of adventure from my wife. She likes to call it soft adventure, but I've been to Africa, to Namibia. We've been on safari in Kenya, Tanzania.
Talk a little bit about some of the more innovative things you do in spine surgery. What are the surgeries you do, and do you have a specialty?
Sure. Well, my specialty is spinal surgery, but my preference is to do cervical spine surgery. That's my favorite spine surgery to do, my neck surgery, because it's, I believe, a little more elegant, in some ways more dangerous because we're operating around the spinal cord, but the patients do spectacularly well, and I love that when they do really well with the surgery.
I'm sure. You see, I did a little research here, you see an average of 3,000 patients. You do about 400 surgeries a year. And yet you told me that you only do, I think it was 7 operations. So put that together for me.
Yeah, so every surgery is different. So when you say 7 operations, it is true. I do probably 7, maybe 8 types of operation. And while we have designed operations and designed instruments to do operations, we've set up our shop, so to speak, our practice, that everybody is quite specialized to do something over and over again to become the best they can be at that particular operation.
So it's a real practice makes perfect.
Yes.
But I'm sure at the same time that if you find there's a better way to do a particular surgery, you're the first to hop on it.
Yes, well, we're always studying what we do and studying what others do. And if we see a technique that we say, wow, that is innovative and that is potentially great for a patient, we will learn how to do it, we'll master it, we'll do it, and we'll study it, perhaps against what's thought to be the norm, and make sure it's better, and then utilize it.
It's fascinating. Tell us about one of your more interesting cases.
Well, there's lots of interesting cases because of the patients, but probably the most interesting type of case I've done or do is there's a disease called ankylosing spondylitis, where patients' entire spine fuses, and what happens is they develop what's called a chin-on-chest deformity, where their neck goes like this, and I couldn't be interviewed or talk to you because they literally can't see forward. They're stuck like this, so sometimes they can't eat, they can't take care of their neck, and there's no really prevention for it. And the only treatment is to break their spine and realign it. And we have to break it in the area where their spinal cord is. So it's quite dangerous. For us, it's quite exciting. And for the patient, it changes their life when you fix them. When they can't see anything and walk around for years, and you correct them so they can see the world, read, eat, breathe again, it's really rewarding.
Oh my gosh, I can just imagine when that person for the first time wakes up from surgery, and they see the world from a whole new perspective.
Yes.
Whew, it's fabulous. Are you also involved in research?
Yes, we do a lot of research. We do both clinical research, trying to define who does well with surgery and who doesn't, and what types of surgeries do well, and we do basic science research. We have a really rich basic science lab here that has NIH funding and trying to figure out how to regenerate discs and what causes discs to degenerate.
Regenerate discs. Do you think we will ever live long enough to see people who have broken their spinal cord, jumped in the pool, and get up and walk?
Perhaps. They're getting very far with spinal cord regeneration, and there are trials going on right now to try and bypass injured areas of the spinal cord. So perhaps in our lifetime, perhaps. We all hope that it will be happening.
May we both be here.
Yes.
Thanks so much, Dr. Albert. It's been a pleasure to talk to you.
My pleasure as well. Thank you.